Are you kidding me right now? After everything Liv Morgan sacrificed for that ungrateful, spoiled little mama's boy, this is how Dominik Mysterio repays her. I am absolutely livid right now, and if you're not equally outraged after hearing what went down backstage, then you haven't been paying attention to one of the most manipulative, cold-hearted betrayals in WWE history. Dominik Mysterio just proved he's nothing but a coward who uses women when it's convenient and tosses them aside like garbage the second things get difficult. And Liv Morgan? She's left picking up the pieces of her heart while that pathetic excuse for a man runs back to mommy and daddy like the spineless child he's always been. Let me paint you the picture of just how disgusting this whole situation is. For months, Liv Morgan put everything on the line for Dominik Mysterio. She defended him when the entire WWE Universe was booing him. She stood by his side when his own family was questioning his choices. She literally restructured her entire career trajectory to be part of his storyline, sacrificing her own championship aspirations to play second fiddle to his drama. And what did she get in return? Nothing. Absolutely nothing except heartbreak, humiliation, and a backstage abandonment that would make even the most hardened wrestling fans sick to their stomachs. This isn't just about a relationship ending, people. This is about a pattern of behavior that shows exactly what kind of person Dominik Mysterio really is beneath all that fake tough guy posturing. Remember when Liv first started showing interest in Dominic? She was the women's world champion, at the peak of her career, commanding respect from the entire roster. She had everything going for her. But she saw something in Dominic that apparently nobody else could see, and she decided to risk it all for what she thought was love. She gave up championship opportunities. She put her body on the line in matches to protect him. She endured months of criticism from fans who couldn't understand why someone as talented and beautiful as Liv would waste her time on someone as immature and unreliable as Dominic. But she believed in him, and more importantly, she believed in their connection. Now here's where this story gets absolutely infuriating, and I want you to really listen to this because it's going to make your blood boil. According to multiple backstage sources who witnessed this train wreck firsthand, Dominik Mysterio didn't just break up with Liv Morgan. He abandoned her in the most cowardly, heartless way possible during one of the most vulnerable moments of her life. Picture this: Liv Morgan is backstage after a brutal match, still in her ring gear, exhausted and emotional from giving everything she had for the WWE Universe. She's looking for Dominic, expecting the support and comfort that any decent partner would provide. Instead, she finds out through other people that he had already left the building without saying a word to her. But it gets worse. So much worse. When Liv finally managed to reach him on the phone, desperately trying to understand what was happening, Dominic couldn't even give her the courtesy of an honest explanation. He mumbled some pathetic excuse about needing space and focusing on his career, as if Liv hadn't been the one person consistently supporting his career even when everyone else had given up on him. The sources describe Liv's reaction as absolutely heartbreaking. Here's a woman who had given everything to this relationship, who had defended this man against all criticism, who had believed in him when nobody else would, and she's left standing there like a fool while he runs away like the coward he's always been. But here's what really makes me angry about this entire situation, and this is where you need to pay attention because this goes way deeper than just a breakup. Dominik Mysterio has shown a consistent pattern of using people when it benefits him and discarding them the moment they become inconvenient. Think about his relationship with his own father, Rey Mysterio. The man who literally paved the way for Dominik's entire career, who fought to get him opportunities in WWE, who tried to guide him through the challenges of professional wrestling. And what did Dominic do? He turned on him, disrespected him, and treated him like garbage for months, all for the sake of getting heel heat and advancing his own career. Now he's done the exact same thing to Liv Morgan. He used her star power, her credibility, her genuine feelings for him to elevate his own status, and the second it became complicated or challenging, he threw her away like she meant nothing. This isn't just about being a bad boyfriend, people. This is about being a fundamentally selfish human being who sees other people as stepping stones rather than actual human beings with feelings. And the worst part? Liv saw it coming. Friends backstage say she had been expressing concerns about Dominik's commitment and maturity for weeks leading up to this incident. She knew something was wrong, but she kept hoping he would prove her wrong. She kept believing that the man she had fallen for was still in there somewhere, that he would step up and be the partner she deserved. Instead, he proved every single one of her worst fears correct in the most brutal way possible. The aftermath of this betrayal has been absolutely devastating for Liv Morgan, and anyone with a heart should be furious about how she's been treated. Multiple sources describe her as being completely blindsided by the callousness of Dominik's actions. She knew the relationship was having problems, but she never expected him to just vanish without even attempting to work things out. What makes this even more painful is that Liv had been making real sacrifices for their relationship. She had turned down storyline opportunities that would have conflicted with Dominik's schedule. She had restructured her training routine to accommodate his needs. She had even been considering major life changes to better support what she thought was their shared future. All of that effort, all of that genuine care and consideration, thrown back in her face by someone who apparently never took their relationship seriously in the first place. The emotional toll this has taken on Liv is visible to anyone who's been paying attention to her recent appearances. The spark in her eyes is gone. The confidence that made her such a compelling performer has been shaken. But here's what really gets me angry: Liv Morgan doesn't deserve this. She's one of the most genuine, hard-working, talented performers in WWE. She's someone who has consistently put others before herself, who has worked tirelessly to improve her craft, who has earned the respect of her peers through dedication and professionalism. For her to be treated this way by someone who wouldn't even have a career without family connections is absolutely disgusting. The wrestling community has been rallying around Liv, and rightfully so. Her fellow female wrestlers have been offering support both publicly and privately. Fans have been flooding social media with messages of encouragement. But none of that can undo the damage that Dominik's actions have caused. This situation reveals something much darker about the culture within WWE and professional wrestling in general. How is it that someone like Dominik Mysterio, who has shown repeatedly that he lacks the character and integrity that should be expected of a professional athlete, continues to be pushed and promoted while people like Liv Morgan, who exemplify everything positive about the wrestling industry, are left to deal with the emotional fallout of his selfishness? This isn't just about one relationship gone wrong. This is about accountability, about consequences, about whether WWE is going to continue enabling toxic behavior from performers who think their family connections make them untouchable. Dominik Mysterio has shown his true character, and it's ugly. The fact that he felt comfortable treating Liv Morgan this way suggests he believes there will be no real consequences for his actions. He thinks he can just move on to the next storyline, the next opportunity, the next person he can use for his own benefit, without ever having to face the reality of the pain he's caused. But the WWE Universe sees what's happening. Wrestling fans aren't stupid, and they don't forget when someone shows their true colors. Dominik may think he's gotten away with this betrayal, but the court of public opinion is already rendering its verdict, and it's not looking good for him. So what happens now? How does WWE handle a situation where one of their performers has shown such a complete lack of character and integrity? How do they address the fact that Liv Morgan, one of their most dedicated and talented wrestlers, has been treated with such disrespect by someone who should be representing the company with honor? This is where you come in, WrestlingNewsCC family. Your voice matters. Your opinion counts. WWE pays attention to fan reactions, and right now, they need to hear loud and clear that this kind of behavior is unacceptable. Dominik Mysterio's actions aren't just a personal failing, they're a reflection on the entire company if they're allowed to go without consequences. Liv Morgan deserves better than this. She deserves support, she deserves respect, and she deserves to see justice done. Not just for her sake, but for the sake of every other wrestler who might find themselves in a similar situation. If WWE allows this behavior to slide, what message does that send to other performers about how they can expect to be treated? The wrestling community has always been about more than just entertainment. It's about stories, about characters, about people we care about and invest in emotionally. When someone like Dominic betrays that trust, when he shows such callous disregard for someone who genuinely cared about him, it's an attack on everything we love about this industry. I want to be absolutely clear about something. This video isn't just about gossip or drama. This is about calling out behavior that has no place in professional wrestling or anywhere else. Dominik Mysterio's treatment of Liv Morgan is a disgrace, and it's time for the wrestling world to say so loudly and clearly. Liv Morgan will recover from this betrayal because she's stronger than Dominic ever gave her credit for. She'll come back better than ever, and when she does, the entire WWE Universe will be behind her. But that doesn't excuse what happened, and it doesn't mean we should just move on and pretend this didn't reveal something fundamental about Dominic's character. To everyone watching this video, share it. Comment below with your thoughts about how disgusting this situation is. Let WWE know that fans are paying attention and that we expect better from the performers we support. Liv Morgan deserves justice, and Dominik Mysterio deserves to face consequences for his actions. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. The wrestling world is watching, and we're not going to let this slide. Dominik Mysterio may think he can just walk away from this situation, but he's about to learn that actions have consequences, and the WWE Universe has a very long memory. What do you think should happen to Dominik Mysterio after this betrayal? How should WWE handle this situation? Sound off in the comments below, and let's make sure Liv Morgan knows she has the support of the entire wrestling community. Hit that like button if you're as angry about this as I am, and subscribe for more coverage of this developing story. The truth is out there, and we're not going to stop talking about it until justice is served. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.